But to be honest, there was nothing about the day that felt like it was going to be a PR. What's poppin'? Jordan Thomas here, and today I'm gonna be talking about how I ran my first sub 5-minute mile. Well, I just wanna talk to you a little bit about why running a sub 5 was a big deal for me, talk about the race day, and maybe a little bit about what I want to do next. I haven't always wanted to run a sub 5 mile or anything like that. As a matter of fact, in high school and college, I had the opportunity to run the 110 hurdles and 300-meter hurdles. And so distance running is something that I came to much later on in life, probably around like my mid-20s. Started taking it a little bit more seriously now in my 30s. And I thought pursuing a sub 5 mile would definitely put me in a position to run a much faster 5K, which is ultimately what I'm targeting. I had the opportunity to run the State Street Mile out in Santa Barbara. It was really cool to see all the different age groups that were available, as well as the dog mile. I think the winner won in like 4:05, which is out of this world. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't run that fast. I've been training for this for probably about the last like 18 months or so, but it's really been these last like 5 or 6 months once I started running with the lab, which is my training group, that I had the right amount of like structure in place, as well as just the type of understanding that I would need in order to be able to pull this off. And honestly, running into all the different difficulties, having those setbacks, having those mistakes along the way, help make this that much sweeter. The build up to the race actually went really well. I started averaging some kind of like 40-mile weeks. I had a mix of different training paces and opportunities to race before this particular one. So I put in the work, but when it came to the morning of the race, I gotta be honest, I woke up feeling kind of crappy. Didn't sleep that well because I was nervous that I was going to oversleep because of the distance I had to travel. Miles that I had accumulated over the last few months or so was starting to take a bit of a toll on me. And so I was just thinking to myself, like, let me get up, let me go through my routine. I've had mornings where I've woke up, didn't feel really great, but I still went on to have a good workout. Let me just get through the day. And so I went through my routine, grabbed my stuff, grabbed Jessica, and we were out. So we had about 100 or so mile drive to Santa Barbara. So from here in Long Beach, it took us about 1 hour and 45 minutes to get there. When we got there, though, I was surprised that it was cloudy, that it was misty, that it was only in the 50s. Now, I gotta be honest, at the time, I was tight. I didn't want to film anything, I didn't want to talk, I just wanted to race and get out of there. Went through my warm-up routine, made my way back up to the start line, and I made my way, I got to see a couple of kids running through, and so like they just reminded me about what it was about for me on this particular day. Compete, have some fun, have a good time with Jessica. And so when I made my way back finally to the car to grab her after I finished up my strides and my drills, I'm like, no matter what, just compete. A great race today is gonna be defined by my ability to compete. And so I figured what better way to put myself in a position to compete than to get on the very front of the starting line. None of this, I'll make my way through, I'll weave my way through. No, I want the same opportunity to absolutely win this race as everybody else that wants to run. Would it be enough to win the race? I don't know, but we're gonna try and see like what it is I can do within my ability, and maybe, hell, if I can go outside of my ability here, who knows, something special could really happen here. And so the gun goes off, boom. And so we make our way through the first quarter-mile mark. I'm hearing 60, 61, 62, but I'm like, cool. Now, for those of you that are watching some of my training videos, you're probably like, oh, are you going too fast? At that particular point, because I also known that I've run recently, like 64 seconds, like as a part of a workout, I'm like, well, as long as I didn't go that fast, I'm probably fine. And so that's what happened. And so that first quarter-mile mark, so at that point, it was actually one of the funnest things ever happened to me. I began to just gradually like get into my groove, not full on decelerate, but just like get into my groove. There were people who were behind me that definitely kind of like fell off because they realized like, oh, there's still a lot of race left to run. And then there was the eventual lead pack that separated from me. So about 20 people like went ahead of me. So I kind of found myself kind of in nowhere land. And for the next like 200 meters or so, I was like, let me just try to keep in some contact. And so slowly but surely, some of those people started kind of falling off that bigger pack. And I started making my way to catch up a few of them. So when I got to the 1,000-meter mark, I had made a decision on my way back up to the start line that at 600 meters, it's time to compete. I don't care what's going on, just start looking for people to catch. And so as I made my way through the 1,200-meter mark, I hit 330, 331, and eventually I run by, I hit 335. I'm like, yes, Lord, let's do it. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, first, don't fall. As long as I don't fall, I'm gonna definitely hit this goal. But let's see how fast I can run right now. And for all those people that originally left me, they began to start coming back because I was now in an all-out sprint. For me, at this point, I'm so excited that I'm moving this fast. Relative, guys. It's, you know, it's not open for 100 meters. But I'm so excited that I'm running this fast because the first 1,000 or so, I'm pretty much aerobic. I'm not like last year during this time where I'm dealing with a hamstring issue or something like that. Like, I am just feeling some regular pain. And I'm like, I know what this is. I know what to do. Push harder. And so I eventually made my way back up and caught, I guess, about 11 people over this period of time. Got right to the line in 9th place. As I passed, eventually got in front of me, but my butt kind of locked up and I didn't want to fall. And so I came across the line, saw the clock said 4 minutes and 47 seconds. At this point, I'm like, it doesn't get any better than this. I got my wife here. I've destroyed my previous PR of like 5 minutes and 12 seconds. But when I eventually get the race results, it's actually 4 minutes and 45 seconds, 0.9. That makes me a 4:45 miler, and I couldn't be more excited to share that news with you. I had all kinds of like crazy ideas of like ways that I was gonna like tell the story, but to be honest, there was nothing about the day that felt like it was gonna be a PR. Today I just wanted to compete, and we'll just see what happens. And so one of the beauties of running, as much as I love like the camaraderie and the community, sometimes you just want to run fast. Sometimes you just want to race. And I think a road mile is definitely one of those things that do it. Now, to be honest, I think I can actually still run faster. Like I'd love to be able to see what would take place in on a track, which I'm most familiar with. And I'll have like spikes on and maybe not crappy weather, but the circumstances didn't dictate my outcome, and the outcome wasn't going to be the sum total of all the work that I put in, but damn, it feels good to get a really great result when you put in the work. But I was ready to enter another race, but then I was just like, you know what? I am satisfied. And as if there's anything that you can take away from this beyond, just like the excitement and the joy of hitting my goal, it's knowing when to stop. Like, I'm a firm believer that if you don't define what it is that you're after, you will default to more, and that's where things get messed up. That's where you put yourself in a position to injure yourself. You gotta know when to hold them, you gotta know when to fold them. And for me, that particular race meant mission accomplished. Like, chill, it's cool. I don't have like a major race coming up again until the fall. I probably will do so I will enter some races over the summertime, but those will be because I just want to be out there. I just want to compete. One of the things that I want you to be able to take away from my channel is I live what it is that I post. I don't post and then try to go live it. And that's why I don't get too high or too low about the number of subscribers that I get. I'm gonna tell you the thing that makes me most excited is that when one of you leave a comment and tell me about how you enjoyed it, ask me a question about it. What I'm looking forward to doing, now that you know that I'm legit out here, is when you tell me you've tried something that I did and it worked for you, or it didn't work, and what can we do differently? Like, that to me is the cool part. The cool part of making videos, beyond me just creating something that I like, is connecting. This is my way of connecting. I spend a lot of time in a lot of different groups and areas, and I look forward to being able to talk to you about not just like my own running journeys, but so many others. I think that it is, as happy as I am about having this happen, I'll be honest, it was weird being the only black dude. There's one black woman in my section, and then there was one other black dude that I saw throughout the entire race. So out of 1,100 people, is 3 black people? Like, that's just weird. I hope that in making these videos, that it helps make it a bit more accessible. It's one thing to hear that running is diverse. It's another thing to actually see someone who is diverse and then can acknowledge that, hey, as much as I appreciate being able to run with my counterparts who actually have a lot of values who I share, it's also just encouraging and fun to know that you have someone that looks like you, that may have some of the same race experiences as you from just a physical standpoint. I'm really excited about what it is that I'm going to be able to do with this channel and going to help expand what people think about running. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time. Jordan Thomas, peace. Jessica asked me a very crucial question on the way up here, and she was like, why are we driving 100 and some miles to run one sub-5 mile? I in turn answered, I'll take you to brunch, and so she's here filming. I'll see you next time. Jordan Thomas, peace.